All right, today we're diving into what might be the most famously difficult book ever written, James Joyce's Finnegans Wake. Now, here's the thing. You don't really read this book. You sort of experience it. It's like this incredible puzzle box made of words and myths. So what do you say? Let's try and crack it open together.
So, what if a book was written entirely in the language of dreams? I mean, really think about that. How would you even do it? You'd have to capture that weird, fuzzy logic, right? Where people and places just melt into each other and words mean one thing and then suddenly they mean something else entirely. Well, that's exactly what Joyce was trying to do. This isn't just one person's dream. It's supposed to be the dream of, well, everyone. And at the very heart of this crazy dream world, there's a sleeping giant. On one level, he's just a guy, a pub keeper in Dublin named Humphrey Chimpden Earwicker. But he's also so much more. He's a fallen king, he's a mountain, he's basically all of human history rolled into one snoring figure. And if we want to get inside his head, inside his dream, we have to learn to speak his language. Okay, Section 1, The Impossible Book's Dream. And the subtitle here is A Language Made of Layers, which is just perfect. Because to get this dream, we've got to get the language. Joyce basically invented his own, mashing up dozens of languages into this incredible layer cake of puns and jokes and historical references. So you get a sentence like this. O Phoenix culprit ex Nicolo malo comes Michaelmast bonum. Yeah, I know. It looks like absolute gibberish. Your first instinct is just to close the book, right? But stick with me. It's not nonsense. It's just super, super dense. We're going to take this apart, piece by piece. Let's just zoom in on two words from that sentence. Phoenix culprit. That's it. The whole trick to reading the wake, if there is one, is to slow way, way down and let these layers of meaning just kind of bubble up to the surface. Okay, check this out. In just those two little words, Joyce is juggling at least three huge ideas at once. First, fornix sounds like phoenix, right? The mythical bird of rebirth and fire. Simple enough. But it also points to Phoenix Park in Dublin, which was the site of a famous historical crime, and it's also where our main character, HCE, supposedly committed some kind of sin. And then, fornix culprit sounds a whole lot like the Latin phrase felix culpa, which means the happy fault or the fortunate fall. It's a Christian idea that Adam's sin was actually a good thing because it brought about redemption. So you've got myth, local history, and theology all packed into one little pun. See what I mean? It's a layer cake. All right, so now that we've got a taste of the language, let's meet the stars of the show. Section 2, He, the mountain, She, the river. The subtitle is A Landscape Asleep, because in this dream, our giant, he, HCE, isn't just a man anymore. He is the landscape. He's a mountain. And his wife, Anna Livia Plurabelle, or ALP for short, she's the river flowing right past him. You can really see the difference here. He, HCE, is the silent mountain. He's Hoth Hill, this big stony landmark outside Dublin. The book calls him deaf and silent, just this passive lump of rock. People in the dream ask him, "Why are you silent, Humphrey?" But of course, he doesn't answer. Then you've got her, ALP. She's the babbling river, the river Liffey. She's described as a rill, always moving, talking, lisping. They ask her, "Where are you hurrying to, Livia?" He is total stillness, she is constant motion. He's stone, she's water. And this idea is kind of summed up in this one incredible phrase. Impalpabant he appears. Impalpabant is Latin for they will not feel, so he's unfeeling. But appears? Now that's a classic Joyce pun. Does it mean he abhors what she's saying? That he can't hear her? Or that he mishears her? It's all three at once. He's this silent, unfeeling giant, completely cut off from the lively, chattering world of the river flowing right beside him. Okay, so here's where things get interesting. Section 3, Please, Sir, Stay Dead. The subtitle, Reasons to Remain Asleep. Our giant is sleeping, but he's starting to stir. He's on the edge of waking up, and all these voices from inside his own dreams start piping up, and they're all begging him to do one thing, stay asleep. Please, for the love of God, stay dead. And listen to how they talk to him. Now be easy, good Mr. Finnimore, sir, and take your leisure like a god on pension, and don't be walking abroad. You can just hear that voice, can't you? It's this wheedling, persuasive Irish accent. Be easy, sir. They're trying to butter him up, but there's something a little menacing about it too. They really, really want him to stay put. So they make a 3-part case for why he should stay asleep. First, they tell him the world is just plain ugly. You don't want to wake up and see a slut snoring with an impure infant on a bench. Gross. Second, they remind him how honored he is in death. They talk about his amazing Viking funeral, his blood eagle waistcoat, all the treasure on the pyre. He went out like a hero. And third, they tell him his fame is totally secure. They've built a monument to him from the Battery block. Basically, they're saying, look, you've got a great thing going here in death. Why would you mess that up?
But maybe those arguments aren't working. So the voices, they shift gears. This is section 4, Life Goes On Without You. Subtitle, The Mundane Continues. Their new strategy is basically to say, you know what? We're actually doing just fine without you. Life has not stopped, not even for a second.
And they prove it by rattling off this list of totally ordinary, everyday details. The stuff in the shop window? It's the same old junk. They're still selling Jacob's Letter Crackers and Dr. Tipples v. Cocoa. Yeah, coal's a little short, but don't worry, we've got plenty of bog peat in the yard. Oh, and hey, the price of meat dropped a bit. It's this perfect little snapshot of a town that hasn't missed a beat. And then they make it personal. They zoom in from the town to his own house. The kids? Oh yeah, the kids are doing just fine.
His son Kevin, he's a sweet little guy, a dote with his cherub cheeks, drawing monsters on the walls. The other son, Jerry, is, well, he's making incustive income, which is a fancy way of saying he's making ink from his own poop. A budding artist, I guess? And his daughter, Essie, has let down her skirts. That's an old-fashioned way of saying she's grown up. She's a young woman now. The point is, the kids are growing, changing. The family is moving forward, with or without him.
And your wife? Well, this might be the toughest pill to swallow. She's doing fine too. In fact, maybe she's doing a little too fine. She's not exactly sitting around crying. She's reading the Evening World. What's in it? Oh, you know, death, a leopard kills fella in Fez, some angry scenes at Stormont. And she's following the soap opera-ish serial story, The Loves of Selskar and Prevench. She's completely absorbed in the daily grind. And then comes the killer line. Her hair is as brown as ever it was. Wow, she hasn't even gone gray from the stress of him being gone. Life is completely normal for her.
And that brings us to the final nail in the coffin. Section 5, The King is Dead, Long Live the King. The subtitle says it all, the cycle turns. This is the last and most powerful argument. It's not just that you're not needed. It's that, well, you've already been replaced.
Finn no more. I mean, that's pretty direct, isn't it? It's a pun, of course, on Finnegan, Finn again, Finn no more. But it's also just a flat-out statement. Your story's over, buddy. It's done.
And here it is, the crucial point, the real reason you can't come back. A successor has already arrived. The job's been filled. Sorry. So let's look at the old versus the new. On one side, you've got the old guy, Hummy the Cheapener, our old offender, the hod carrier Finnegan. And who's the replacement? He's a big, rody ram lad at random. He's not old and tired. He's flourishing like a lord major. And get this, he already has a wife and 3 kids of his own. He's a complete, ready-made replacement who has just slotted right into the old giant's life. So what's going on here isn't just about one guy. It ties into this huge philosophical idea that runs through the whole book from a philosopher named Giambattista Vico. He called it corsi e ricorsi, which basically means flows and reflows. Vico didn't think history was a straight line of progress. He thought it was a repeating cycle. Ages rise, they fall, and then they start all over again. Heroes are born, they die, and someone new takes their place. Finnegan getting replaced isn't a tragedy. It's just the giant cosmic wheel of history taking another turn.
Which leaves us with one last big question. You see, Finnegans Wake famously ends mid-sentence, a sentence that actually connects back to and finishes the half-sentence that starts the book. It's a perfect circle. So, in a story that has no real beginning and no real end, is anyone ever truly replaced? Or is the new guy just the old guy in a new mask? Is it all just one single continuous dream with the same people playing the same parts over and over and over again? Forever?